Behold, the Cup Chasers are back. What is up, people? Hello, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Cup Chasers podcast. That's right, we have returned, and it's time for Premier League action. Of course, a month away. Transfers are going off the chain, all kinds of chaos. All kinds of news. Of course, Jeff Bezos is going to be the new director over at Liverpool, sounds like. I don't know if you heard about that one. Plenty of stuff going on. We got new coaches. Oh my goodness, everywhere. How many different teams have new coaches? Of course, we're going to be looking at Maresca entering into those giant boots for Manchester City. And, of course, Andoni Iraola has found himself at the helm for Liverpool. We're going to be talking Arsenal transfer stuff as well. And if we get to it, we'll see about Xabi Alonso and Chelsea and what kind of jokes we can make. Of course, so go ahead and smash up the likes. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. It would be an honor and a pleasure to welcome you to the channel. Make sure you got the notification bell on and sharing it everywhere. You know the drill. And, of course, I got my man Nez in the building. How we doing?
All is well, man. I'm glad that the new season is here. And hey, man, I will say this, even though I have my criticisms. Shout out to the summer tournament and the potential of new eyes and faces and ears into the game, because what'll essentially happen is that the complaints that'll be there will be less generalized and more nuanced, and it'll be clear about some of the things that we complained about and why our frustration was what it was. But at the end of the day, I loved it. I'm looking forward to football. And hey, man, I don't know how much Premier League is in Spanish, but hey, man, if they can get some of that in Spanish, I'm fine with English ones, but I'll take some Spanish.
Every single one, man. Peacock does if you have a Peacock subscription, it'll do every single game in Spanish if you want it to be.
Well, actually, now that I've said that, because I watched most of the games with the supporters club, so that's probably why I never hear it in Spanish, because I always watch it with the group.
Fair enough.
Yes. But yeah, man,
I'm
glad the people are here. I'm looking forward to new people and new comments saying what they need to say and just jumping in here in this podcast world, since everybody is now a football podcaster.
Yes, they are indeed. I imagine plenty have sprouted up after that World Cup. It was fun. It had its moments. I'll say the group stage was pretty awesome. And then it kind of unraveled from there on out. But it's done. It's in the books. And my man Asif has joined us, of course. How we doing, Asif?
Not too bad. How are you guys?
Oh, we're doing good, man. Absolutely fantastic. Man. Yes, indeed it is.
Very busy.
Studious.
Yeah. That's the word, JK.
He's pulling up some of these transfers that we're about to get into. But before we kind of do that, I want to ask a broad strokes question about Manchester City as far as Enzo Maresca coming in to the job, filling those big boots of Mr. Pep Guardiola. What are we thinking, Nez? Is it going to be the familiarity that's going to be, the most important thing? Do you think he's going to try new stuff? What are we thinking?
So, in my opinion, I think Enzo was at Chelsea was kind of trying to do this similar things that, Pep was doing, but obviously with his own spin on it. So I think that was happening. But I think at City, what happens is that, when you manage in a place and you like the structure, you hope the structure goes with you. Well, all of the structure that he was looking for is at City. But the funny thing is that he's in a transition period, which some people can say may be bad because of who he's following. But if you think about it, it's giving him a chance to kind of earn his own stripes, because, there's obviously rumors, and we'll get to those. But there's rumors about, Rodri leaving the team, and there's rumors about and then there's other guys that are just up and leaving, and because contracts are done, or just unsettling things where the new sporting director is looking to have his real imprint on the team. And I mean, he seemed to be a pretty good sporting director. So it fits City's most historic success came while he was there. And so he left after the treble season because he got a job. And, you know, I mean, he didn't do a bad job. It was before Chelsea. I think it was at Leicester, right? Is that right?
Leicester, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, he didn't do terrible.
Or he got promotion at least.
Yeah, he got promotion. He got promotion.
So the question is, how well will the players take to it? Because many of the players from that treble season are gone. And so it's about building a new group. And it's a very distinctly different group. So you hope, and I mean, Asif knows this, you hope that, you know, the guy who follows your guy does well and creates a culture. And that first season, you never know. You can win the league the first season after you follow the guy. But then now what do you do after that, where we can see who your people are? And the thing that's important is that the funny thing is using the Liverpool example, Maresca is actually coming in the opposite way Slot came in, because Maresca's coming in where all the old guard is leaving, like all of them, they're leaving, and the young stars are there, but the young stars know him. And then they've already brought in the guys with the idea he's coming. Whereas when Slot went in his second year, he's dealing with, oh man, I got to bring my guys in. So the sporting director is trying to match him, whereas the sporting director has already kind of made his imprint on City. Again, the only real issue that we look at as significance is Rodri, which, I mean, it's fair. You know, you got Ballon d'Or winner. But, I mean, we have guys. Like, they're saying they're not willing to let go of Mr. Smiles. And then Nico Gonzalez would be there, and he's shown that he can play the role, and he's super young, which people are not really accounting for. And then they brought in Anderson. So, I mean, they've literally brought replacements in for almost everybody. The only guy that they've been unable to replace is Kevin De Bruyne. And, I mean, Kevin De Bruyne, you know, I mean,
well,
Rodri counts.
You might need 2 or 3 players to replace him.
Right, but City bought 2 players to replace Rodri. So, you know, I mean, you do it by committee, you let the guys grow into it. And again, these guys are young. Rodri's 30. And these guys he has in here are 22 and 23. You know, it's like that's different. So if the team is able to win the league next year or make a good run in some cups and win some cups, you know, as long as they fight, you know, I think then, you know, he'll be fine. Because, I mean, Pep, think about it. Pep finished third his first season, and Pep came in as the guy. And it's like, oh, well, this doesn't work here. And then the next year, you know, he destroyed
Pep
the team.
Pep kind of tried to change it and do his thing immediately.
No, which he should have done. You have to believe in that.
But in regards to this, you guys have got a head start on Liverpool because you don't need to replace your sporting director in the middle of the summer transfer window. Which is
I don't know that one, man.
Yeah, no, I'm saying.
I was definitely going to ask you about that. I was definitely going to.
I'm saying it how it is. That was absolutely ridiculous. That's like is your busiest time of year. Why couldn't he just fucked off before the summer window transfer happened, opened? So yeah, that was just. I think he just did it for maximum damage.
It's another sabotage.
It's sabotage, I think. Because why would you do it in the summer transfer? That's like when you need your sporting directors the most.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, sure is.
And going back to the topic anyway, now I get that off my chest. No, I think Enzo Maresca is he's a good manager. I think we'll see how he adapts now because I know Chelsea was a big job, and I personally think he did a great job at Chelsea. I know a lot of people.
He did. He won 2 trophies.
Yeah, a lot of people did not did not think that of him, but I thought so. So I think he should, with the team he's got at Manchester City, with a couple of signings here and there. Obviously, leaving the great Savio there as well in the team. I think they could do well this season. And we'll see. Well, jury's out, like I say, with new manager in. Obviously, there's going to be changes, tweaks that Guardiola did not do. So, but they've got to come in with a new mindset now. They can't say, okay, Guardiola, they had all this trust in Guardiola. No, they're going to have to put that sort of trust in him, even though, and he's going to have to earn that as well. Because
what did he do, Nez? What coach was he? Just assistant coach, or
he's assistant head coach? He was the next guy.
Okay, he was the next guy. Sure.
Yeah. He was what Arteta was, because he replaced Arteta. Because Arteta was the assistant head coach. He was exactly what Arteta was.
Yeah, and then he stopped Leicester's decline, and then they went back again. So he did a good job there. I think he's a pretty good, pretty solid manager. And speaking of Enzo's, we could be seeing another Enzo at Manchester City.
No, thank you.
One of Nez's favorite players.
I will make the statement too. If Enzo Fernandez, the Argentine football player, ends up in Man City, then I won't support the team anymore. I'm standing up on that, man, because that's silly. Like he's an awful person.
And
they see who he is, they know who he is, and the Argentines are not like they're digging their feet in and saying, hey, worse. There's no reason I want that guy in the team. If the sporting director wants that guy, you want that cancer, you got it. You can have the team too. I don't want no parts of
that. Nez is a man of his word, so I'm sure
I'll quit him. I won't support no team. I watch the NFL. I don't support a team. I can watch the sport and I have a team.
And I think Xavi Alonso is going to have a problem.
I think so.
We're switching gears.
I agree.
When he comes back, when Enzo Fernandez comes back to the Premier League, and after he could be targeted by a few players as well in the league.
Oh, you bet your ass he's going to be targeted. That's for sure. People are going to come at him for sure.
Yeah,
but
if those political statements he was making.
Oh yeah, for sure. If we look at, what's been left behind after long-term managers leave, obviously the most recent examples being Klopp leaving, and then Wenger, of course, and Fergie. Fergie left as a champion. Wenger left after the first time he finished 5th place in 20 years. And so the situations are a little bit different, of course, and Klopp left as champion, or as 2nd place, right? And then Slot won. Or was it?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah, that was 4 in a row. That was City's 4 in a row.
Right. And so is there more expectation on this City side than any of those? Maybe not Man U to repeat because they were all still there. But as far as, no one expected Slot to, like, at the beginning of that season, we weren't saying, man, Liverpool are going to run this season over with Arne Slot at the helm. But if, what is like where you look at the league finish and be like, if he finished 4th, if Maresca
finished Champions League, he has to make the Champions League. That's a minimum.
I agree with Nez on that fact.
What's the expectation is what I'm saying.
I think the expectation would be to challenge for the title. I'm not saying necessarily beat Arsenal, whether you like them or you don't, are the team to beat.
Oh yeah, they're the champions. They're the favorites.
Yeah, they're the champions. You have to use them as the yardstick. You guys are gonna, like I say, it's different, challenging, and it's different being the champion. So we'll see how you guys react to that, especially with Saliba out for quite a while.
It's a whole different ballgame. Yeah, we'll get to it, but I'm very aware that it's a completely different thing.
And with Saka, with his injury problems as well, that's gonna, and I think you guys overplayed.
We've got Madueke.
You can have Madueke. He's your answer to Savio. Anyway, I don't think it's I think this is a league there's no really standout teams, and my problem is, and I'm just looking at it, trying to look at it from a neutral point of view. When it comes to like Champions League, there's no one team apart from maybe Arsenal who can, like, who's got that consistency. Manager always there, like group players who've been playing together quite a long period of time, where you have that at, say, Real Madrid, Barcelona. Okay, yeah, they might have one or two outgoings or whatever, but the main nucleus, Paris, yeah, they got the main nucleus of the team is there, and a lot of our teams are in transition this year, so I'm thinking it might not be as good in the Champions League for us this year because of that fact.
I think that also leaves it really open, because the thing about it is that what we've also seen is the fact that Real Madrid, who spent money, brought in players, got the best players, and were complete booty cheeks. And so you have to look at that and say, well, a lot of these teams who are juggernauts are not getting their guys, right? And so, they're recycling coaches like crazy because the personalities have been the issue. And that's what makes it so interesting about, like, your point, Asif, and you as well, Jake. So, obviously, like, Rodri is linked to Madrid, which, I mean, the funny thing about that, and just being honest, if he wants to go, let him go, right? But I've said this before. If he wants to go, let him go. But I look at it and I'm like, well, what are you going to accomplish at Madrid that you can't accomplish at City? Not only if you went there, it'll be brighter, but it'll be under a shadow, though, because it'll always be the club before you. But if he does it at City, it's you and then the club. And then, I mean, if people are looking to be club legends, like, that's kind of how you get there, And so you sit there and you say, well, you won the team's first Ballon d'Or, you won a treble, you completed football while being on a team. The team fully believed in you while you ran into this stuff, and your answer is, well, I want to go home. But when you played Madrid treated you like trash. This is home. If that's where you want to go because you're chasing glitz and glamour, okay. If you're saying you want to go for weather, I'm not going to be mad at that. Madrid's weather is clearly better than Manchester's weather. But if you're going for the sporting reasons, watching what's happening where Mbappe, there's an issue there, you're not going to. So who are you going to lead there? You're not going to overpower Mbappe. You're not overpowering Perez. You're not over. Vinny's still there, whether people want to believe that or not. So what are we talking about? Like, you're not going to go in and just step in and I'm like, I'm him. That's not going to work there. I mean, you might be able to go into Barcelona and do that with the stature, specifically being in the Spanish national team, but you're not going to Madrid doing that.
No.
Madrid eats up players. And I'm not saying he can't rise to it, but are you going to be like happy with the football there? Think about the top tier guys that went there and Madrid humbled them. Gareth Bale went there, he won, and then he sat on the bench for the last 3 years of his career there. And then ended up in MLS. Rodrigo is there, ascending star, been on the bench. And Vinny Jr. was looking like, hey, this is my team. I'm going to take over. You go sign a guy who plays the exact same position as you. Are you sure that's where you want to go? And the thing about it is it can't be about money, because we already know, the whole world knows. That's it. Whatever price Rodri's agent sticks in front of City, they're going to pay it. Whatever contract he wants, he says, I want Erling Haaland money. Okay.
Done.
There's no question. So you're going to take your prime years, go into confusion, because, and we love Jose, I respect Jose, but this is old Jose Mourinho. That's what you want? You got it. Because let's not pretend they're not in turmoil. Real Madrid had the stars of stars, won nothing. Nothing. And Rodri knows, and again, this is not the poop on anything, but we say this, if Rodri had played the whole season, I think the league is tight. We won 2 trophies when you came back, so you already know that you can win where you are. And that has prepared you to take you where you are. You want to play different football? You want to play easy football? Go ahead. You can go. And then they're talking about Haaland. Now I give Haaland's people credit because they said Haaland, and then his dad was like, you know what, everybody wants to play Madrid. I understand that, but then they immediately came down and said, hey, I got 6 years left on my deal. That's all it meant right there. And Haaland understands that he will become the icon of the club. It's his club.
After the World Cup, he's gonna be like the icon of the league. If he wasn't already. As much as City fans love 93-20, you tell it, you already know that guy won with everybody, with people and without people around him. He's unstoppable. So long as he stays healthy, the world is his over the next 4 years, like between now and the next World Cup. He's him. Oh yeah.
And so your choice, if you're Rodri Hernandez, is to say, let me leave the best striker in the world. You got it. Go ahead.
You froze up Asif with that. Let me ask you this: if he stays,
I love it. I'm not mad either way, but I would love for him to stay.
Does that raise the expectation?
No. But what it does, the expectation was Champions League. I mean, obviously City wants to win the league.
Yeah.
But I mean, the expectation was already there. I mean, the expectation with Pep was win the league. The expectation with Maresca, specifically in his first year, is to finish Champions League and win a trophy. And Maresca kind of has already set the precedent that he knows how to win tournaments. He won the Club World Cup. He won the Europa League or the Confederation, whatever thing they won.
Whatever it is, yeah. The Conference League, yeah.
Yeah, but and so he knows how to prepare for a trophy run. So Maresca's expectations probably are Champions League, win us a trophy. That's it. That's which is not easy. No. It's not easy.
Definitely not.
No, but that's what you're coming in with.
What's up, Ali? Hope you're well.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Asif.
No, I'm just when you talk about Mourinho, I know we're not talking about the Premier League, but I think he's got his own ideas. He's got his own set style of play, and I think I know there's a lot of egos in that dressing room. But if anyone can deal with that, I think it'll be Mourinho with his no nonsense sort of style. I think I'm
sure he would want Rodri.
Of course he would.
Yeah, I think he would. But he's also he could tweak that their style of play. I can see that happening. Make them a lot more harder to beat.
And how does Mbappe feel about that? You know.
Well, he wouldn't care what Mbappe feels about that.
But that's my point. That's the locker room you're choosing to go to.
It is what it is. If he doesn't, you can only anywhere he's gone to, he's got that track record. I'm in charge, and that's it. So
I hear you.
Mbappe either adapts or dies.
Does he? Does he? Because the history of Kylian Mbappe I know is he get managers fired.
He can try to get Mourinho fired. That's
good. Sure. I bet you he could. I bet you he could get him fired. If I'm choosing,
probably.
If I'm Perez and I have to choose between Jose Mourinho, who's at the tail end of his career, or my superstar in the prime, I'm choosing my superstar every time.
Yeah. But how can you say he did well and his goal output was well, but he does not play for the team.
That ain't the point. That's not what Madrid.
I mean, 44 goals and assists is.
Yeah, Mourinho demands that.
Mourinho is not bigger than Mbappe. He gonna learn.
No way.
He gonna learn.
Like I say, he might buy into Mourinho's philosophy.
I'm fine with that. I'm not saying he won't do that, but if it's a choice,
I need you to do this. You know, that kind of stuff.
Dembele told him he needed to play defense and track back, and he didn't want to do it. That you think Jose gonna say anything less than that?
It's like I say, it's or he'll tweak the systems to him not to do as much, or it'll be a bit of. We'll see how he does.
Hey man, I appreciate your confidence. I don't know. I think Jose will be fine. Like I think they'll contend.
Yeah.
Look, I think he's usually good for the first 2 seasons, and then it's the third season syndrome where he normally cops out. So,
Well, I mean, he did go undefeated, or he wasn't at Benfica well, yeah, he was.
Yeah, it was.
He was undefeated in the league.
And came in second.
Didn't win, but they went undefeated in the league.
But here's my thing. But Asif, you gave that. I don't believe that. I don't believe it at all. I don't believe it. I'm just saying I don't believe it. Mourinho, the last time Mourinho was at Real Madrid, he was there for 2 years in his prime, and they sent him away. In his prime. And that was with Cristiano and the Galacticos. You think these guys won't send him away? Nobody's there to see the manager. I mean, yes, we love Jose, but nobody's there to see the manager. And you just said, and it supports why Perez would do it, because he's clearly shown he's willing to get rid of people. You said, hey, first season good, second season, that he was the special one. And again, I'm using literal evidence. I'm using literal evidence that he's been fired all over the place, and this club themselves fired him. And he was the special one then, in his prime. And you're saying, hey, okay, one season, first season he'll be good. Second season,
I have to disagree with the prime thing. A manager doesn't have primes like that. Like
they do. What do you mean? They do.
No, as in some. It depends on the manager.
No,
they do. You can look at the span of their career and see the prime.
I mean, Wenger lost it in the end. You know, as soon as he finished fifth, he resigned.
Yeah, there was.
But when I refer to prime and with managers, is about their ability to influence the players, right? And he has the cachet, but he doesn't have the cachet, especially since, think about this, because it'll be easy if Mourinho starts out rough. Who did Real Madrid have an issue with in the Champions League with the racism thing? Oh, it happened to be Jose Mourinho's team, who he did not turn against. He supported his team. You think the Madristas are going to be like, hey, man, we remember when you didn't support us. So please, I don't. Yes, so shelf life.
The Madristas don't care as long as they get success.
And if Mbappe don't buy in, and
the second they don't, they're gonna say, "Oh,
they're done."
Yeah.
And then we already said he got a shelf life for 3 years. So if Mbappe already knows that, and Mbappe knows, Mbappe will win that war. But I agree. I hope. But Mbappe's I think it's rude to call him the dictator, just because I think there's some sort of slur stuff in there. But he's shown, like, hey man, if Mbappe hadn't already made the decision to go to Madrid, Luis Enrique would have got fired. And somebody tell me different, because I'm telling you he would have got fired.
My problem with Real Madrid is they should not be playing Mbappe and Vinny.
They play the same damn position.
Exactly.
They need a striker.
They don't need to play in the same team. I would have sold one of them.
Can he? We don't know that. And here's why. Ali, I agree with you. But Asif said it so perfectly earlier. He said, I don't know about the Champions League because so many teams are in transition. This new league, the way the Champions League goes now, and Jake, you know firsthand, this league table thing and the way it's set up, that's different. It's 2 season. It's a new science. So I hear you, but there's a strategy to the league. There's a strategy to the league standings. There's an absolute strategy to that. And then there's a strategy once you get into the knockouts, because it's different. I mean, it's the same, but it's different, right?
But I think it will. The league thing will actually suit Mourinho.
I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm saying it's different.
He's the kind of manager who excels more in. I'm not saying he's not a good cup manager, but he excels more in leagues.
And ask Chelsea fans or any of the big club fans, he plays negative football.
That's what they've been playing this
everywhere
whole season, though. I'm saying Madrid are used to it, since Xabi, and now I don't know necessarily if Arbeloa was playing the sit and counter kind of stuff just to piggyback, but he didn't last long. That's for sure.
I'm just telling you, man. I wish Jose the best, except when they play City. If City don't sign Enzo Maresca, but hey, man.
Well, speaking of signings, just to bring it back in, do we think that the fact that, and see if you can tell me if the Mirror has any credibility whatsoever, but they reported yesterday that Man City have reached an agreement on personal terms with Bouadi from Morocco, the Morocco midfielder.
Really?
That would be a great signing. I think you guys were after him as well, weren't you, Jake?
We were.
Ourselves were linked with him till we screwed up with sporting director, but that's a totally different thing.
Do we think this means that pursuit in and of itself means that City are kind of sure Rodri is going?
No, I do not think so.
I mean, they've already bought Anderson. They got Nico Gonzalez, and now Bouadi. If he comes,
I think so. I think you need to rotate in the season. You can't have. I think when Rodri was out, he showed the lack of till Nico got his feet and found his feet, so to speak. They were lacking in that department. So and you need tactical options. So Bouadi, I think he's a long-term signing. He can come along. He can play a few games. He can learn alongside them, and then when it comes time, he'll step up. He's not the finished article, so I think
sure. I agree.
That's a long-term investment.
As long as the kid knows, as long as the kid understands that,
Yeah. But I think he would know if he was going to sign for Man City. I'm not saying Mirror is. Sometimes they're not. If I saw that on the BBC, for example, or something like that, Jake, or Fabrizio, my old friend, would say, "Here we go," then I might take it more onto. But I think that would be a long term. That's not a thing.
Yeah, we'll see. I think it'd be good for Rodri if Rodri stays.
Because I think Rodri
for these guys to learn from him. Yeah,
he can't play every single time, all the time.
He shouldn't.
Because of the his injury record, etc. So I think you need to have a younger person in there as well. Who can learn alongside him. And I think it's an intelligent signing long term wise.
Yeah, man.
So we do think they can play together?
Huh?
Yeah. We do think they can play together?
Yeah.
If they sign him, I don't see.
Yeah, I think so.
Fair enough.
I was reading that going on from Man City, but I was reading that McAllister is looking for a move.
Oh.
So if
how much time does he have on his contract?
He's got a lot of time yet. He's only.
Is it a lot still?
Yeah, it was still. I'm sure he's got at least 2 to 3 years on it.
I can answer that one. It's Holland.
Yeah. But I think Bouadi's linked with ourselves as well. We'll see. I think there'll be a lot of competition in for him. It's not just Liverpool and Man City. I'm sure there'll be some foreign clubs. I'm sure Arsenal might be looking for someone in that department. It says
here he chose Man City, Bouadi. But again, that's Manchester Evening News.
Manchester Evening News is a more credible source.
Okay.
Works.
So is Phil Foden going to Milan? I just see that here as well. Wait a minute.
No.
Nah.
Phil just signed a new contract. Literally, he just announced it today. He just signed a new contract.
He's got another kid on the way, hasn't he?
Probably.
Probably. He's probably got another 8 or 9.
No, but Phil just signed. Phil literally just signed today. City did the announcement today.
Yeah,
okay.
He wants his own football team. There's the amount of Sprogs he's kicking up.
Hey, man, got paid for him, right? Got paid for him.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
Ali, just on your question, he's hit and miss for me.
I think Phil is back. I think Phil will be back this year.
I don't think. I don't rate him as much.
You don't gotta rate him. We just need him to be who he was.
No, I'm talking about he's talking about McAllister.
But
yeah.
Yeah, he cried a lot at the World Cup, man.
I'm not a fan. I
All
think
he did was cry.
he's very inconsistent in the league. Like Soboslai, he's a man. I think, yeah. If in regards to midfield wise, yeah, I'd take him any day over McAllister.
So word is, Asif, that you guys might be swooping for Barcola. Looking like Arsenal.
That would be a great sign.
That would be a great
Arsenal
sign.
getting,
That's a great
Arsenal
sign.
just getting.
I would love that.
We're just getting thieved on over here.
He's welcome to come to Liverpool. We would love him to come to Liverpool. Not a problem.
Yeah, man, that'd be great.
We would find space in our team for him.
What you mean fine? Who displacing him?
I mean, are you just gonna move him to the right?
That was a tongue-in-cheek joke.
Oh, my bad.
Just move him over to the right to replace Salah, right? Should he go to Liverpool? What do you think?
No, Jake. He's a left.
Yeah, he's a left winger, but I mean, who's in the market for right wingers? Like who is even available for right winger?
Look,
who are you going to replace Salah with? You need like two guys to replace him.
I'm going to mention something now, Jake. They've got Munoz, and do you know who we play on the left usually?
Yeah, Gakpo. Cody Gakpo.
Exactly. Yes.
He's not a winger.
But he plays there.
He plays on the left, Des. So that's exactly why I said that tongue in cheek. Like, yeah, I'm sure we can find space for him. He's fucking definitely getting in there.
I got nothing.
No, this might be right. Ollie might have hit it right here. Rio might be stepping up this season.
I think he'll be in it. He'll have more game time, but I don't think he'll be like a genuine starter. I don't think.
No.
I think
like regular rotation, though, right?
Yeah, regular rotation.
More Premier League time, yeah.
Yeah, but I think Barcola more than welcome to come to Liverpool. I'm sure.
What do you think about the Akliouche rumors here?
Sorry?
The French midfielder Akliouche. You've made an initial approach for Monaco winger amid PSG interest.
No problem. Yeah,
that's what it says.
We need wingers. Bring him. Sell Gakpo while he's still hot on the market. Well, after that World Cup, and then hopefully we get some Savinio money for him for 60 million, and yeah.
I don't know about this one, Ollie. Maybe they're close. Dalma's my man, of course. This is from the Daily Star 6 hours ago, and again, I have no clue.
No.
Like I say, I don't know. So that's nothing. Okay.
That's nothing. I would not.
Oh, this one's from Sky Sports, though. This one's straight from Sky. Says amid PSG interest. So they're both have made approaches to £34 million. Looks like the latest offer, but Monaco did not deem it acceptable. So it's gonna have to be more than that.
Hey, Monaco,
Monaco
knows how to make money off their players, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the Portuguese clubs are probably the best at that. In Europe.
Yeah, I mean, the way Benfica fleeced Chelsea for Enzo Fernandez still makes me. Hey, Ollie, I'm American.
Ali knows what I'm talking about.
I'm American, man. I have no clue about the tabloids over in England.
Okay.
I know that this is the Sun still a thing. I don't even know what you know.
If you want to see semi-naked ladies, you probably will look best out looking at Daily Star than he is the Sun at the moment. So there you go. That's all I need to tell you about that.
Hey, you learn something new every day. Definitely can't trust the Daily Star. It's soft core, as he says here.
The no-go list.
The no-go list. Yeah, the Akliouche thing's on a bunch of different ones, though. It's on Liverpool Echo as well. Wrong. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. The Sun isn't a good one either.
A big question is we're talking about Liverpool because this is the one, like, City had to replace De Bruyne. We're looking at Rodri. Liverpool got to replace Salah. But, hey, man, as much as you got to replace Salah, Virgil van Dijk, who is deputizing him? Because this is – and I see if you tell me if I'm missing it, this feels like this is his last season there.
I mean, you've already lost Konate, Robertson. Y'all are threadbare back there.
So my question is who's going to deputize? Because you got to have somebody. Like he's leaving.
No, we've got the new French kid coming back. We've got the one we signed last season who was Leone.
Okay.
So we're well stocked.
Is Jacquet? So you're talking about Jeremy Jacquet or Jacquet, however you say it?
Yeah. So I think on that score.
But they're both young and raw as far as Premier League experience.
Who's next to Virgil? Because Virgil's starting next year.
Oh yeah, you know who's even
Jacquet.
Really? It's one of these two.
Jacquet.
Wow.
No,
Wow.
Maybe Jacquet.
Okay.
You don't think you bring somebody in to kind of, maybe try to hijack the Lacroix deal like Chelsea's doing. Chelsea just seem to be coming after whatever Arsenal say they're interested in. I swear, is Todd Bowley back behind the wheel? Because that's what he did when he first came in. If Man City thought it was a good player, he went for him. Is that what he's doing? Oh my goodness!
Gomez when he actually is on the field and fit.
That man said Joe Gomez, dog.
Yeah, but
that man said Joe Gomez.
But I think Gomez will be more of a rotation player when he's actually fit. So that's a totally different story. I think
you need somebody else as well. In addition.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll have someone in place by that time. So.
But that's like the heart of your thing, because I mean, you need somebody who can compensate for his lack of pace now, man.
Yeah, that's why Leone or Jacquet would be the best bet.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty. I mean, you have one left back as well on top of that.
Yep, and that's why.
So you need a center back and a left back, or I mean, it's looking pretty thin for sure.
Well, hopefully we can sort that out, even if there's something coming.
Is Connor Bradley healthy? What's up with Connor Bradley? Is he healthy? When's he coming back?
Bradley should be back for
the start of the season.
Yeah. So
okay,
I think at least we've got that side covered. So.
Hey, is Ali coping? Is this copium or is it like whatever?
Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit of
Morgan Rogers also threw some shade, and he's like, "I wanted to go to the best team in London."
He said biggest club in London.
My bad.
Is what he said.
It's still shade. Like
it's still shade.
You can dress the thing or whatever you want to. He's still shade at Arsenal.
No, it is. And just just because
it was a good signing. I have to.
Oh, it's a great signing for them. Yeah,
I have to give Xabi Alonso credit. He hijacked you guys and gave him a phone call from what I hear, and he was like, he sold it more than Arteta did.
Well, let's just do a quick one. You know what? We'll come to it in a little bit. Actually, you know what? This is fine. We can do it in this segment. Yeah. Look, for me, Chelsea's a much better fit, and I'm sure Alonso said, "You're going to be the guy, number one. You're the starter. You're going to, you're starting next to Palmer in my double tens. We're going to see the Leverkusen. I mean, that's what Xabi Alonso is. That's what his coaching style is. So it's definitely going to be the 3-4-3 with the two narrow tens. João Pedro's probably the starter in front of him, and then with the wing backs, right? And so that inside number 10 role is is Morgan Rogers. That's what he's best at. I think Arteta was trying to tell him he was going to be playing a lot of left wing at Arsenal. And so not only did Chelsea put the cash on the table, no add-ons, no buy-ons clauses, none of that. It's here's 117 million right here up front, take it or leave it. And reportedly Arsenal were given the opportunity to match it, and we said no. And so he signed. And it makes sense, especially if you're going to be fighting for time at Arsenal, because you are. No matter who comes in, they're going to be fighting for time at Arsenal, because we don't necessarily need to add, a whole lot. We want to cover what leaves, of course, but we don't necessarily need to add a whole bunch. I agree with this as well, Ali. Cucurella would have been great.
I do.
Would have been great.
The World Cup Cucurella had, he's on fire, man.
I'm not sad to see him go at all, obviously.
No, yeah.
No, I
Matt's
thought
sad
he was
to see him off.
their best defender last season, by a country mile.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, for sure. I think also Arsenal, don't want to. Obviously, Berta isn't trying to pay too much for anybody, but also if the player wants another team, and you never you never really know about what reports are what. Obviously, David Ornstein's pretty reliable, and there are a couple others, of course, Fabrizio. But you never really know. It was obviously in all the reports. Oh, Rodgers wants Arsenal. Rodgers says this, says that. Well, sometimes we say things that we don't necessarily mean because now we've signed for Chelsea and we have to big up the club.
Yep.
But if you don't want to come and you want to go, let the player go. I definitely agree with that. But hopefully another report is true. Or go ahead.
They need defenders as well. If you're talking about our defense, they need.
Oh yeah.
That's
why they're trying to come for. They're trying to come for Lacroix.
Reece
Maxime
James is
Lacroix.
the 12th man because Reece he ain't making it the whole season.
I hope we hijack his deal as well. Why not hijack that as well?
Yeah, why not? Why not? I agree, Ali. I think a lot of Arsenal fans are kind of getting this sinking feeling, even though I don't think it's necessarily too horrible that Martinelli's looking like he might stay for this season and be the, especially if a lot of people are probably going to be let down if we don't sign a left winger and we go with Zolis, Martinelli.
Yeah. Don't you have the Club Brugge guys that you got?
Yeah, Zolis is in London doing his medical, so hopefully that's all wrapped up and announced pretty soon. But the deal itself is done and agreed. Yeah, Zolis is kind of an unknown quantity to me so far. I've seen a couple of videos and I've heard that he's definitely a good player. A lot younger than Trossard as well. But yeah, it hurts. It hurts seeing Bossardinho go, of course. That's for sure. But for Arsenal at the moment is we're trying to get Bruno G over the line. And of course, reports are that he says he wants to come to Arsenal. But Newcastle, I'm sure you know better than me as Steve.
They never go without getting top dollar.
Their media, the media up there is wild. Talk about Arsenal have not, there's no club-to-club contact. There's been no talks. Meanwhile, Arsenal have put in 2 bids. I don't know what that's about, but I maybe, like you say, is it a ploy? It's a tactic to drive the price up?
Yes, Jake. They always get top dollar for it. If they're going to sell, look what they did to Barcelona.
Fleeced them.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah, they're one of the hardest teams to negotiate with. Is Newcastle. They were I was going to say Spurs, but not anymore. But compared to Newcastle, if you want to play from them, look what they did to Tonali. Yeah, exactly.
There you go. They got 100 million for Tonali.
They got top dollar. So you think they're gonna get less than 90 for Bruno G?
Yeah, they're getting their money. Because hey man, let's talk about managers.
You might not agree with it, but I'm saying it now. If they sold Tonali for that much, they'll be asking daily as much for Bruno G.
I'm surprised they wouldn't ask more. Why wouldn't you ask? Bruno G is definitely a better player. It's only because of his age. It's only because their respective ages.
But just Eddie, if I'm Eddie Howe, man, I'm like, hey, dude, what y'all doing, man? Y'all gonna give me a team to play with? Can I have somebody to play with?
Ali, I said that's from when we signed the guy. You can ask.
Yeah, it's probably on here. It's probably on the channel. Go back.
Yeah.
Go back and check it out. But yeah, it's definitely crazy.
With that injury record, man, him and we might just book a bed for him and Joe Gomez to, in a Liverpool hospital because they'll be making frequent visits anyway throughout the season. Oh.
Yeah, y'all do. And Ekatike's on a long-term injury as well. Yeah, man, that's rough. Y'all definitely need some work.
When is Ekatike coming back?
About December time.
Woof. Yeah, that's rough. That's absolutely rough. Well, speaking of that, you do have a new manager in Andoni Iraola, and as we were prospecting and kind of thinking about what Maresca might do, Iraola's got some work to do at Liverpool as well. What are we thinking, and see how we feeling on the new manager?
Jury's out. I like to see how he's how pre-season goes, how he starts in the league before. I'm not gonna condemn someone before having.
Y'all are in Chicago actually, like now.
Are they? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we usually do a trip to States at this time. We'll see.
What do you think of this right here from Ollie?
No, that's not gonna happen.
No,
you don't think?
No.
Yeah, Ariola's done a press conference ahead of your preseason game. I think is where this comes from.
We're getting linked to a few players. We'll see what we can do in regards to transfers. I think we're gonna have to be a bit, just be a bit. What's the word?
Well, it's a scramble because Edwards is gone. Who's the new guy? Like,
yeah, imaginative with some of the funds because we've got a lot of positions to cover, so we're gonna have to.
Who's even in charge of it right now? Like, did someone new come in, or
I'm assuming it'll be
It will be, as in right now. There's no one doing it, and it's just
no. It'll
like
be.
group?
I'm assuming the head of the. We have a technical committee anyway, so
okay,
the scouting and stuff. So they'll still have the players that they identified. They probably have like a short list of players anyway, and then which they can work from.
I mean, I don't know if it's going to turn out that bad. I don't think you're going to finish 17th.
No.
Arun, what's up?
Sure. Oh, we
How you
didn't
doing,
that
man?
part of the show, so we here.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about you on the World Cup thing when I saw the other day before we start. Did you see the excellent result against Wrexham?
You didn't even give him 30 seconds.
Nope.
Man ain't been here 30 seconds.
Nope.
Arun normally comes in hot, so I thought, you know what I mean? So I thought I beat him to it. I know we're gonna have a lot of banter this season, Arun. So I thought I'd just start you off now. I saw that excellent result, and then you buying Tielemans as well for 50 million. Some money well spent, man.
Jesus Christ, man.
Hey, no worries, Arun. I was seeing that over on Insta. Big ups, man. I hope it's going well.
I hope it's going well, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, and yeah, it's only preseason. It's only preseason,
but it gives you heart joy when you see that kind of stuff. You know.
But
and even when you had quite a lot of your first team in there as well.
I heard Joshua Zirkzee was an all-star in that game.
But I'm sure when Martinez comes back, he'll be like, he'll be messed up again.
It's just going in. But yeah, I mean, speaking of preseason, it's definitely Iriel has got a lot to figure out and a lot to I'm just wondering.
Yeah, that's true.
Here I'll ask a kind of a different nuanced question. Do you think you have more expectation for Liverpool this season? Like, would you be upset if Liverpool don't finish ahead of City?
No, I would not be upset. I think this is a transition.
Like if they were second and you were third, like it was this season,
No, I think the amount of players that we need to replace as well.
This is funny.
Someone said Spurs have made.
Bro, they just Arun. They coming at you, bro. They coming at you, man.
Oh goodness gracious!
Oh,
we're doing good.
I think we have a lot more players to replace than say Arsenal or Man City. You guys have more of the nucleus of your squad there, while we have aging players that we need to replace, etc. So
But minimum Champions League, right?
Minimum Champions League, yes, of course.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying we're going to win the league. Not this season. Obviously, we're going to have to. There's going to be a bit of chopping and changing in regards to players in, players out, especially with Salah gone and Van Dijk.
Yes, sir, Arun. Yes, sir, you will. We'll be here, brother. Go on.
Yeah, so there's a lot of transition going on. Hopefully we I'm not putting too much expectations on us this season compared to I just want to see an improvement from last season, and then we'll take it from there, because like I said, there's a lot of we are in transition. I'm not going to say that, but top four, we'll see. There's a lot of teams in transition. It's not just us. There's Chelsea, Spurs, even City. So
I don't know. I think you're probably in there for, right now as it sits. Yeah, I would be, if you finish fifth. Yeah, I would say that's kind of disappointing. I still think top four.
The funny thing is, here's what I feel about the league, man. Obviously you would like. I think all of us would accept our team winning the league. Jake, I know you would love it. After the drought, then you have a back-to-back, which again is difficult, but doable. But I think this year in the league is going to be a very different year, because I feel like there's going to be parity this year. I think it's going to be a tighter league than we expect it to be. And the funny thing was last year was tight, but it was tight from like 3 to like 9, and like 1 and 2 were kind of like distant. I think the whole top half of the table will be tight this year.
Yeah, I think so as well, and I think there's a lot to do with kind of what we were saying off air, Nez, about how even though there are new managers at Liverpool, at Chelsea. Even Carrick is somewhat new. He had what, like half a season maybe.
Yeah,
they got to get on it. They definitely have to get on it, Ollie. That's for sure.
Not just the managers, Jake. I think it's about the players hitting the ground running as well.
It's a whole transition, like across the board.
Exactly. There's going to be a lot. There's a lot of transitions in most of the major clubs. So whoever hits the ground running fastest is probably what's gonna be the difference, because like I said, there's a lot of transition in all the major clubs, and that's why I'm thinking, even in regards to Champions League, I don't have much expectations compared to past years.
Well, I think that could also help the English teams in the Champions League, just the way it'll help in the Premier League itself, because it's also, from an Arsenal point of view, a very different task than we've been up against, than Arteta's been up against. Just as you in Maresca and Iraola and Carrick to a degree, and of course others in the league are learning their teams, so too are the other teams learning the nuances and the new subtleties around all of the other teams. And so Arteta cannot necessarily, from an Arsenal lens, necessarily rely on what Slot did, what Pep did in the build-up to these games as we prepare to try and play the new Liverpool, the new City, you know what I mean? And so not only that, there's De Zerbi at Spurs, and they're signing all kinds of players. So Spurs are going to look different in that what De Zerbi was doing at the end of the season, and the only games he was there, was survive. It was straight up survival, get it over the line, no matter what. Now he's got a preseason under his belt. They've signed a bunch of players. He can implement his style, his system. It's not about survival. It's about, let's build a team. Let's try and actually build something. So that's brand new, so to speak. And I think for Arsenal, the pressure, as you were saying before we went live, Nez, is wholly different. It's wholly different for Arteta because, yes, statistically, it's rare to do a back-to-back championships, of course, but the expectation is now higher than it's ever been. because we are now the favorites going into the season. It's, now if we finish second again, that's another huge failure. It's big for us to go on and try to and repeat. That's kind of where the pressure is now, right? And even more so, as you say, Asif, Arsenal are really the only English team that are like, you guys should win the Champions League. Like it's your time, it's your turn. Yep. There's pressure for us to go and win Champions League as well as repeat as Premier League champions. And so not only is the pressure, the pressure is way different, it's also amped up, and we got to learn all these new teams. Like Fulham's got a new manager, Palace new manager, Bournemouth has a new manager. So many teams have new managers going to be different. Chelsea, obviously, new manager. So this season, I think it's going to be a really fun season. Learning the different ways, the different things that managers are going to, have the effect they're going to have.
And mess up my fantasy team. So.
But another thing. I think another thing that what do you say?
This too. Gabriel might not be there at the beginning of the season. Saliba's definitely not. Saka not. Rice isn't going to be there at the beginning of the season. I don't know if Eze's going to take that break, but he's certainly able to take that break because of the rules for
right. And you're defending
as well.
So you're defending guys. You're defending your repeating champion guys are not starting the season. So realistically, your guys won't be back until we start the league phase of the Champions League. Like realistically.
Yeah.
That's significant, man. Because at that point, those 1 and 2 points here and there, that's huge. And also, but the other thing, and I thought about Arteta because I think this is a very good sort of thing to it. And I thought about Pochettino. The way guys are in one team is different than another one. So you can say, okay, I know this guy is good, but like I think about like when Arteta was at City, right? He had a couple of games where he managed and he kind of tried to do his thing, but then he was like, well, I want to establish my identity here. And then he did. But it took Arteta probably 3 or 4 seasons to get Arteta ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that means that means like Slot won the league the year before. There was no slot ball. They just did whatever was there. He didn't do anything special. Now, see if you can correct me if I'm wrong, but like the first year, he just let Jurgen's thing run, And so that means it's really open to anybody. Because again, now because we're talking about lots of teams. But how many teams have the nucleus of their teams in? Because that's what matters. Because the players can run their system. And so City has their system in place. Like all the guys are still there.
That's the thing, and when you just mentioned about Arsenal not having all those players, City
that's huge.
And City will have most of their players, so that could make a lot of a difference.
But there's other teams, like there's other teams who were making runs last year. Like, this is the first pod I had where do I not have Foot Mob open? Look at me. So, anyways,
go ahead and sponsor us, Foot Mob.
Hey, man, Foot Mob, what y'all doing? Hey, man, we use the statistics.
Apart from Man United, no. There weren't that many on a big run.
So if I'm looking at last year, Man United finished 3rd, Villa finished 4th, right? Liverpool was 5th, Bournemouth was there, Sunderland, and think about Bournemouth, like just let all kind of people go wherever, and they still were there. Sunderland was solid, right?
Yep.
You got Brighton, Brentford, Fulham, Newcastle. I mean, I don't know if they'll be better, but
thanks, Ollie. We appreciate the support.
Yeah, for sure. Because we represent just like, hey man, real quick, Aru, hey, y'all need whoever's out here, check my man Arun out. He's an up and coming and thriving artist. We appreciate him being here to have the banter with Asif because him and Asif, this the best banter on the internet right now when it comes to United. Asif finds that, hey man, did something happen to United? And Arun, hey man, where's the
He just waits for it. Lies in wait.
Shouts out to Arun. But yeah, man, we're just looking at teams. And then the other thing that always happens is the newly promoted teams really, really create a thing because you don't think about how many newly promoted teams start off the season really well.
Not to mention Frankie Lampard knows the league inside and out. He's coached in the league. He's won the league. you know, and he's had a resurgence in his own coaching career at Coventry. So I'm very interested to see how Coventry do for sure. And Ipswich yo-yoed. We're only out one season, you know, and so they know the league.
To your point with the Frank Lampard point, like, for example, and we were heavy on it, and this is where, you know, talking about knowing other leagues, Como, right? You got Como, and you got guys who just bring it in, and you just need guys believing. You don't know what's going to come from that.
And also, when talking about teams on a good run, I thought Bournemouth they impressed me the second half of the season. If they keep a lot of, I know they've defense, Sinisi's gone.
Yep.
But they're very
and y'all are trying to get Ryan. Liverpool trying to sign Ryan.
Groupie, Ryan. If they want to, I'll take both.
Both of them.
I'll take all three of their forward line if they want to come. So I love their forward line. I think it's probably one of the best forward lines in all of the league. I personally think so.
Absolutely. Ryan for Martinelli would be great. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that at all. I wouldn't mind.
How much would that cost, though? Like, how much would that cost?
A lot. Most likely a lot. But Asif, do you think that Areola is going to play the sit and counter that he played at Bournemouth at Liverpool?
No, I think he'll play a different sort of style. I think he'll go for the more Klopp style from what I've heard and what I've
more on the front foot.
Yeah, more on the front foot. I think if he's seen he's played this style before with other clubs in Spain, for example. At Bilbao. At Bilbao. I think he'll adapt for different games, certain games, and he's the kind of manager who can just play a certain way no matter who the opposition is, which is what I like about him. He will adapt when he say, for instance, and kudos to even Carrick. I don't normally do this for Man United, but he adapted when he was playing certain teams in the league, and you could see from the results against other top six teams what he did, because he adapted for each team, and I think that's very important. And yes, I do agree, Ali. I've been saying this from last season. We need to get Krupi in. I would have sold Isak and I would have got Krupi in. Me personally, I've been saying this for a long time. You can ask these guys; they'll tell you.
Your board wouldn't have liked you saying that. That's a lot of money to lose.
That's a whole lot of money to lose. That's for sure. But do we think? Or go ahead.
Nez, look, if we get the money back, most of that money back, and we can reinvest it somewhere else.
Who's gonna give you near? Do you think somebody give you close to what you paid for him?
No way.
I think you might get half. You might get half.
No, send him to Saudi.
Maybe.
No problem.
Well, okay. That might be the answer. That might be the answer. But do we think?
But he got to agree to the deal.
Yeah, that's true. The glass giants. That's funny. I
totally agree with that, Ali. This is why I was talking about. They've got a bed. They got 2 beds booked in Liverpool Hospital. One for Gomez and one for Isak.
Oh my goodness!
They just need to make. Just have it simply reserved for them every time they need to come in for a scan or whatever, or surgery, whatever. Just keep them in there. Just there you go.
Hey, so Jake, I don't know. Did we mention it while Asif was here? Where that Jeff Bezos might buy Liverpool? Did we say that?
I said it in the intro. I mentioned it in the intro. Yeah, go ahead, Asif. What do you think?
I've seen that it was a minority stake that he's been approached to take a minority stake with a couple of other shareholders. I have read into it. We'll see what happens if they want to give us more money so we can invest in more signings. You go ahead, Jeff Bezos. You invest that Amazon money into us. Not a problem. And as long as you don't put machines on the pitch, I don't really give a shit.
Now you know.
I've heard it's 30%. He's going to be in a consortium, so it's not just him. Obviously, there's a couple of other groups, and they've created a consortium, and they're going for 30%.
I don't mind if money talks in Jake. So if they want to spend,
it's like a $4 billion deal or something. It's like a $3 billion deal, something crazy.
They can go ahead if they want to give us 3-4 billion. I'm not going to lie about that. If someone wanted to invest 3-4 billion in Arsenal, I'm sure you'd be like,
bring it. Show me the money. Show me that money. Let's see it.
So, yeah, especially with the investment that goes into a new team and replacing some of these players. Yes, take that money.
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't see why he wouldn't. Do we think Man U is maybe the next best suited to kind of deal with the chaos, as it's less new than everyone else, even though it's only, 6 months, 7 months he's been in the job or something? Other than Arsenal, as far as, continuity.
I think Man City. I think Arsenal. I'm not sure about them so much because of the injuries, but I think from all the managers who are best suited to hit the ground running, it's probably Maresca, because of his time at City, the structure that is already there, etc.
Yeah.
But Man United, you think Man United will be fine?
United, I think, is his third. I'm as a neutral, and I hate to say this, they're probably the third.
They're going to be strong. They're going to be strong.
Yeah, they're going to be
signed
strong.
Signed Andre Santos.
Yeah,
Casemiro's finally gone, but I mean, I think.
So did Ederson pull out? Did Ederson pull out?
You know what?
Did the Ederson deal not go through?
Well, let's.
No, Ederson played. The transfer didn't go through.
No, I remember something about that, but
they did not.
No. So
okay, it was he didn't pass a medical.
Yeah, he didn't pass the medical, so he didn't do it. But I think so that's why they got Tielemans instead.
There you go.
I think looking at this, I think they are going to be strong heading into the season. I think hopefully Fernandes takes an extended period of time off, and
you talk about Lisandro Martinez.
Him, Martinez, and
I'm curious about Argentines in general coming back to the league after the way the whole Falcons thing, man. Just
yeah, I mean, this whole Julian Alvarez saga has got me worked up, man. People still out here hating Gyökeres, just run me up the wall. Like, what are y'all doing? We're never, ever, ever gonna trade Gyökeres and give you money to bring Alvarez. What kind of nonsense is that coming out of Spanish media? This is that was ridiculous, man.
I think that is shit. I think they're just using your interest to try
to hike it up for Barcelona. Is what I think.
Hey man, but Atleti said they're not selling him there. Especially, I mean, he's literally been a petulant child, man. Like, hey, whatever, dude.
I'm kind of over him as well. Like, especially if they're going to take Gyökeres to get him, that's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Why would you,
you know what?
move on the guy that won the league?
But we're talking about a psyche where why does he have a problem with having competition?
I think
because imagine what you could have won if you stayed with Haaland.
I think
he's so stupid, man.
Looking at the league and all the players out, even for Arsenal, I think Man City are probably the best suited to take advantage. Looking at all the factors, etc. And I think Man United are another one who can take advantage because of the structures already there, Dave. Unfortunately,
they've definitely improved on what they were doing since he's been in there, and so
I'm not sure about Santos
this season.
I'm not going to lie. I'm not sure about Andre Santos.
He'll probably play where Casemiro was playing, but he's got to bulk up. He's got to get in the gym. Got to get in the gym for sure.
He's a good signing, but he's a squad player. He's not a first team player.
Yeah, fair enough. And that just leaves the manager you probably wanted to be at Liverpool this season, going into Chelsea, apparently the biggest club in London, as per the expert Mr. Morgan Rogers, who's chosen the Xabi Alonso project over Arsenal. I'm not bitter at all. Do we think, and I've maintained on this, what do you think about this? Before we get to that, Nez, what do you think about this right here?
He's going to disagree.
I think he will as well.
No, I don't disagree with that. Like, I didn't have a problem with him leaving, but his issue was
the second part of this.
Yes, Charles, we're back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Mamu should follow the same playbook.
Oh well, no, and I'm gonna be honest about this, right? So the thing is that Pep did and played a certain way. Marmouche is a striker. I mean, the World Cup obviously happened, and Marmouche is what? How old is he?
It's gotta be young, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, he's still
Hold on, I'm not gonna say yet, but hold on, because that matters based on what happens next, right? Because obviously he's the heir apparent to Salah, right?
He's
So
27, actually.
yeah, so he's not a baby. He's not a baby. And so I think, if I'm not mistaken, he just got his contract 2 years ago. And they probably signed him on a 5-year deal. So he probably has 3 left. And so if you push for a deal, his transfer value is 64 million. It's like Echeverry is coming back. So we got a wing to replace him. This is why the Savinho thing is really irrelevant. And any striker, and here's the real thing, and we're being honest, right? Any striker that comes into the team has to know you're not playing over the Viking. So you either figure out how to play with him or you sit. That's it. That's your options, man. So, I mean, if he wants to go, I'm not going to be mad. You said it earlier, Jake. Pep Guardiola's had the mentality. I agree with it. I've said it about Rodri. If you don't want to be there, leave. I understand generational guys, but hey, man, let him go.
Well, what if he challenged for being the number 10, being the creator, being in there, challenge Shirky for time?
Shirky has not, left the Mundial in glory.
Do you think that'd be easier than beating out Doku or Semenyo for a winger spot?
I think they're all hard. Like if I'm picking, right? If I'm picking of the 4 front spots, so I got left wing, right wing, striker in my 10, right? Which one do I have the lowest chance of getting? Well, it's clearly the striker. I'm not getting that one. I'm getting cup competition. So I'm not getting that, right? Unless he gets hurt. And if he gets hurt, then all the weight is on me, right? So then I got the wings. Well, they spent a bunch of money on Semenyo, and Semenyo is just figuring it out. So they probably, and he scored a bunch of goals, so Semenyo's going to play. Doku, while, he's ascended, respectfully, is still kind of on the fringes of starter squad player. He's still on the fringes. So Doku's position feels the most available to go after. And then Shirky, depending on how his attitude comes, that position's there too. But he's competing with Phil Foden
too. Yeah, Phil Foden as well. Yeah.
So he it's either the left wing or the 10. Semenyo is obviously you can unthrone anybody, but the most real ones based on like value that they've put in, yada yada. The left wing and the 10 are probably the most realistic ones. So yeah,
fair enough.
You got to figure out how to play with him. If you don't figure out how to play with him, then it's done. Now what's that? What do you say?
Charles, are you saying if Arsenal signed this would be magnificent? This would be
Kone would be huge.
This would be an incredible window. I would love that, but not at the expense of Victor Gyökeres. I'll tell you that right now. I'd be very upset.
I think another team people are underestimating is considering the end of the season, Nottingham Forest. I think they had a great end of the season, and Glasner
Glasner went to Forest. Okay.
Yeah, so I do think he can improve them as long as the signings are
that's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, because I think he'll be back at Forest compared to say Crystal Palace. Aston Villa, Garnacho. I think he's in last chance saloon, so he needs to.
Oh my God, man, that's so funny. They're trying to replace Morgan Rogers with Alejandro Garnacho. That's crazy. This is a very good question, Charles, right here.
I think he needs to understand. I think Garnacho thinks he's the best place in sliced bread from what I've heard and seen social media, etc. And he needs to put that ego to the side. If he starts applying himself, he might be an inspired signing for them.
I agree with that, actually. Yeah.
He needs to stop with the ego. He needs to put his head down. I can't think of a. He's got himself out of London, which is a good thing, I think. And going to Birmingham is a totally different change of pace. So yeah, I think it will be totally different for him. It depends. He's in, like I say, he's in last chance saloon. Personally, I think he's going to be. It's either he sinks or swim in Aston Villa. Either he goes to mediocrity from here, or he can earn himself and move somewhere else in the future.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. I think this right here is a very, very interesting question. Apart from the only thing I can maybe think of here, Charles, about being oversold in this market is I think there's, and this would open up a whole nother can of worms, but it was something that Terry Fleurs mentioned over on the terrace about agent fees being absolutely crazy. And a lot of the inflated pricing can be found in in things like this. The agents are really driving up the price, especially the Premier League proven players. And there's also this idea that once the first guy goes, that's kind of like the precedent for the window. Thanks, Manchester City, for spending, what was it, 110 on Elliot Anderson. And so everyone's been in and around that ballpark. I mean, Anderson goes for the British transfer, or excuse me, Rodgers goes for the British transfer record. But
no, not the British transfer record. I have to correct you there, Jake. Is the transfer record for an English player? It's not the British transfer record.
Gotcha. That makes sense. So yeah.
But
Isak was, gotcha.
But to your point, I totally understand where you're coming from. This is where you have to be inventive with your money. Say, for instance, I know teams who are now looking at the South American market, for example, and instead of them now going to feeder league, like a lot of them have done, going to like Portugal's or to the Dutch league, for example. A lot of teams now, Premier League teams, are like using the route for the other second team that they have, like Man City have the what's the team that they have in Spain that they bought Sevilla? Girona. So they're putting them through there and then filtering them through to the or like with Liverpool, they've signed a 17-year-old Colombian from Nacional. They've loaned him back, which is I think you're gonna have to start doing something like this if you're gonna find value for money, basically. So, like, look at your Martinelli deal. I know you guys give him shit, but if you sell him, you're gonna get at least triple what you paid for him.
Probably, yeah. I can see that. That's for sure.
So
yeah, I don't mind this point at all. Actually, FSG. You guys actually broke the British transfer record last time. Wirtz was over 100 million. But I think Chelsea even more so with Enzo, Benfica getting you for 105. And then Caicedo was 115, I think, or 108 or something crazy like that.
Why would you be playing those teams money when they go into South America and buy those same players for like 20, 30 or even less sometimes? So
I think for me it's on Chelsea because they'll just pay whatever. Don't mind paying over everything to get whatever.
If Bowley wants to hit me up for transfer advice, you pay me a fee, I'll do it for you a bit. But
hey, just call the Cup Chasers. Well, yeah, we're with you. We can help you for sure, Mr. Bowley. I know you got it. But I don't know about Zabi over there. I'm yet to be. We'll see. I guess they are spending in a way that they haven't done. But we'll see how he works in the league.
My biggest issue is thinking about Patrick and X and all the times where Chelsea people have said something to me. In the back of their mind, they always have an issue with their board. And so I'm just sitting here saying, okay, they say stuff, but what does that mean? Especially if he doesn't get results early.
I think personally, I'm looking at their signings and I can actually see the change of direction now.
I got to see it on the field, man. I agree with you, but I got to see it on the field.
But I totally understand what you're saying. But if you look at it from a logical point of view, data-driven, that kind
Chelsea
of
logical. Chelsea logical.
No,
Nope.
because before it wasn't logical at all. It was full of shit. But if you look at now, they've got Rodgers. They're getting the Lacroix that Jake was talking about. It's targeted now. They're getting players who are actual proven. The Lacroix is a French international. Rodgers is a proven Premiership commodity. You're talking about. You can see it's similar to how Man United did it the last season when they got Mbuemo, when they got what's his name from Wolves?
Cunha.
Cunha.
Yeah.
They're getting. You can see that it's targeted, and that's what I'm liking about the signing. That's just me personally. I think obviously it has to translate onto the pitch, but they're not getting some 20-year-old kid without European experience, or like what they were doing before, paying stupid money. It's more targeted. That's what I like to see.
But I mean, they had a good manager. I mean, we're not saying Maresca's perfect, but Maresca has just as much managerial success and ability as him, and they just bought whatever, and they didn't care. And Maresca pushed back, and we already know that that Johnny's going to push back.
That's what happens when you have people running a club who do not have football knowledge.
What happened? What JT say? Oh, personal terms?
JT in the building. He's talking about Bruno. They're very close. Hopefully the conclusion is a gap valuation. I agree with this 100%. But he's saying that personal terms, everyone says they've agreed personal terms, but they haven't spoken with the club. I'm going to go see if this works at the Ferrari dealership. This is a good idea, JT. I like where your head's at.
Go for it, man. I got nothing. What do you say?
No. So talking about knock-on effects. If if Rodri goes and Elise goes, and what Bayern will do then, and how that'll affect the league.
Talking about, from what I hear, when he's talking about the 150 million bid, he was talking about one of the Portuguese PSG players, not Bruno Fernandes.
Gotcha.
No one's going to pay. No offense to Bruno Fernandes, but they won't be paying 150 million for him.
No.
Well, asking a real question, and I'm being honest about this. Like, Bruno was like right at the time where he kind of needs to, if he wants to win something, he kind of needs to do it, right?
He needs to leave Man United. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah. Because I'm not going to question he's not a good player. I mean, I don't like sort of the way he behaves, but I'm not going to question he's not a quality player. So
speaking of knock-ons, if Elise goes to Madrid, might Bayern go in for Bruno Fernandes, another creator?
I would.
No, I think he might be a bit. Nah, I can't see.
Well, somebody got to buy somebody.
Musiala can play wide. Leroy Sané's there. Sergio Gnabry's still,
31 years old. The sell-on value won't be there. So unless they get a good price for him, no.
I guess Saudi it is. Or the
US League.
I don't know that Bruno's going to come to MLS at 31. That seems a little too soon.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, you guys are more of a retirement league.
We're the retirement league. We're the over 35 league.
Yeah, that's why Casemiro's got
to... Can we take a second on that, though? Can we take a quick second on that?
Casemiro's got to Miami.
Well, but here's why I want to take a quick second on that. Because I think something that's important to recognize is, yes, it is the retirement league. But I really think, while the relegation thing is still a giant issue, I think next season when they switch to match the European schedule, I'm kind of believing there might be a change in that, where I think more players might come, not because of it's the retirement league, but that you're matching sort of what the playing times, you meet the international windows. And I think once the part of the motivation for doing that is, and anybody who knows anything about American sports knows this, is that if they switch to make their season match the European season, then their transfer windows, which always will match. And so are we saying that American sports owners and sports teams are going to look at players going for whatever prices they're going to Europe in now their preseason window and not find a way to alter the way they spend money? Because I'm saying they are.
I'm going to disagree.
Well, I mean, but what? Like, again, you have to know American sports. I've never seen anything where they would just be like, "Hey, you know, we got a cap." I mean, there's a cap, but if we saw the way they bent the rules with designated players for Inter Miami,
the fact with them coming over there, I think.
I don't know who, but I think they'll go. I think they'll go for better players, and I mean younger players. Like I think they're going for players.
Yes. The point, JT, is that they might be able to coerce or coax or in some way get more of the players who are better. You know, who are obviously better than what the colleges are.
Well, no, JT is asking a point because he doesn't know. So the MLS runs on the schedule of I think January or February to
it's
November.
Like late Feb, yeah. It's late.
And so their main transfer window is during the winter when the Europe is on their short window. And so in the 2028 season, or is it 27, Jake? Because we talked about.
I think it's 27. I think it's the
27. That's right. This is the last season like that. In the 2027 season, what they're going to do is MLS will end in November. They'll do their playoff and end it all there. They'll have the break. They'll do an abbreviated season to make sure they run the thing that for money purposes, but then they're going to stop when every other league stops.
In June. They'll stop in June.
They'll stop in June, and then they're going to start their official 27 season to match everyone else's 27 season. So that means they're going to have the full window. And there's no way that the league did that not thinking about the access they'd have to players now. And the owners have to know that. So that means there's going to be an influx of better, younger players.
No, I'm not saying you're not getting younger players. I'm thinking, but more.
No, because the point was about retirement league. And so I think you're not going to run into that anymore. Less. You will, but less.
No, you're still going to get a retirement league.
For sure. That's Saudi. It's Saudi. I get it.
Yeah, I'm sure you can attract younger players, but I think even most of the American players, their goal is to play in Europe. But
if the MLS improves, and in 5 years from now, it's a competitive league, maybe on the same level as say Portugal.
Even 3 years. 3 years from now.
Even then, yeah, I totally understand.
It'll be even more attractive, right?
It might, yeah. I'm not saying it won't be attractive, but I'm thinking Europe will still be, if you want to test yourself against the best.
To answer JT's question, I'm gonna skip to JT's question.
I don't get this one, yeah.
Yes, and the reason I say that is because why would you do transfer business during the middle of your season like that? Because it's the middle of the MLS season when the transfer window is open. And so what players coming in the middle of the season, right? It's how much movement happens in the December window, the January window, right?
Let's also not forget. Go ahead.
No, but because my logic is if we see that and we don't see huge moves in the summer, then because again, if I'm a player, do I want to come in at the beginning of the season or the middle of the season on a transfer? In most cases, I don't want to move to a team until the beginning of the season because then I get the full season. I'm starting the whole thing with the team. The way the MLS is set up, every player, if they come here, when Messi came after the PSG season and did not play for a month because he had just played the league. And so if I just done this thing, why would I come in here and play? I'm going to take my time off. So by the time I'm actually acclimated to the team, you're in your playoffs. So I've literally just lost the season for that. But now if I'm a player and I'm coming like any other team where I'm starting fresh as everybody else when August comes, it kind of makes sense. And so I think that's enough of a carrot to say, hey, this is not retirement. Because like Saudi, right? And because then the thing, and the only reason I'm saying, and JT, I get it, it's just, here's why I'm following the money. I'm telling you why this makes sense to me. I'm following the money because there's no financial reason for them to do what they've been doing because the MLS has existed for 20 years? There's no financial reason to do it. So the only way that their actuaries and their account people said, hey, this makes sense, is because they're going to make more money. That's the only reason they're going to do it. It's a league. There's no way that, how many teams in that month? 30? There's no way 30 clubs are going to be like, yeah, let's move and make less money. And let's get worse players.
Not to mention that a lot of these clubs are affiliated with Europeans. David Beckham owns Miami. The Crunkies own the Colorado team, the Rapids, I believe they are.
Right.
And so I'm not sure of the other links, but I would not be surprised at all if
FSG owns a team too.
Do they?
They own the New England team.
There you go, the Revolution. So, I mean, the blueprint's there, the know-how is there, and obviously the Crunkies like money. They like money. So if there's an opportunity to pump money into the league, so that it obviously returns,
they had to vote on this. The league had to vote, and so to Ali's point, I get it. Saudis to get your money up, but here's the thing: Saudi might get your money up, but you're not getting exposure. We have TV here.
Lots of it, yeah.
you think that if Netflix just bought the Premier League rights, is that right? I think that's correct. I think Netflix just bought some football. I don't know. Okay. And Telemundo just bought the Spanish versions for the Champions League. So
really?
Yeah, they bought the Spanish version. They only wanted the Spanish one. If that's there and those games are during the daytime, and I need a soccer fix because what's happening after this World Cup? What is the conversations that we're running into after decent football? Man, I want some more of that.
Right.
So if I want some more of that, and you can watch it later, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you?
Because most American professional sports are nighttime events.
And at this point, because you already know my logic why people should support like European teams as far as football. You can watch football in the morning and then watch college football immediately after it.
Yeah, I agree with this point as well.
Yeah, I mean, and so switching it up is this is part of the motivation to switch it up and match the season. I agree with you, Nez. It's when you look. All you got to do is peel back one layer and find the money and who's going to make money. Apple right now has the rights to the MLS. So if you have an Apple TV prescription, you can watch every single game. And it's literally going on right now. Like the season is on right now.
And so in Europe, right? Real quick in Europe, if you see if you have an iPhone, right? Oh, look at me looking all frozen. But if I'm selling Apple TV subscriptions to my iPhone users and I don't have the European market, what's a way to get them for a group of people who love football to watch my football? How do I get them to watch it? Have we not conditioned them already to watch football at our time anyways? We just spent the whole summer doing it.
Yep.
Follow the money.
I totally understand, but some of the times your football is on is like stupid times for us. So like
yes, but think about it, and I agree.
But the American audience is so much bigger than they're going after Americans,
right?
No,
but
I'm talking about like the European market is not.
But here's my thing, and Steve, and I agree with you. But here's why I'm saying it's a real thing, because football fans will watch football. Again, I remember when I went to Texas. I went to my buddy's wedding in El Paso, Texas during the league season and Man City was playing. The game came on at 4:00 in the morning. There were bars open at 4:00 in the morning for those fans.
No, I agree. And I
so it's just the money.
With JT on this point, you guys have some weird ideas when it comes to soccer, football, whatever you want to call it.
I'm right here.
That's why
they need relegation.
That's why you don't have relegation. You don't have. This is why if you're gonna if you want to attract European players or have a better league, etc., some of the ideas that you guys have is not going to translate over to us, and so
Well, yes,
and some of our ideas doesn't necessarily translate to you guys as well. So
Well, no relegation is just like Nez said. Not having relegation is exactly what Nez says. Follow the money. If you don't have relegation, you can monopolize who's in the league. You can monopolize
exactly,
who's getting the money.
Yeah,
that's the idea behind not having relegation.
Yeah, that's what we don't like. We think that's anti-competition. If
Yeah,
we had the
it
rules
is.
that you guys had, Leicester would never have won that league. The Premier
Hey
League.
man, but you're not selling me on nothing. I agree, but here's the thing. You said our stuff is weird, and I agree with all of you. The relegation thing is silly. All other stuff is silly. But here's the thing that that I'm showing you, that I'm saying to you. They have British and European people in their boardrooms now, in their offices, because this change doesn't happen without those people in there. And if those people are in there and they're saying that, the next thing you're going to see is an increase in the salary cap. That's the next thing that happens. Now, they're gonna fight relegation, but they're gonna find a way to make money off of it. If they do relegation, they're gonna find a way to make money, and that's the only way they'll accept it. But other than that, as long as the games are decent, and realistically, if we're being honest, if we put on games from the MLS and we improve the league by having like better young players, then could they for sure be? I hear Charles. I'm with you, man. Again, I agree with the relegation thing. I think it's stupid. But if the competition on the field is better, will the relegation matter? Right?
Was he just? But
well, because I'm just being honest. I agree with relegation. You don't have to sell me on that. But if your product is better,
you got to give the underdog a chance, and that's what I think. And
but they do, because they have salary caps. That's the whole point of it.
Nah, salary caps. I don't agree with that.
I'm telling this. That's the Americanized.
But see, the thing about it, Asif, is yes, you can't. They're not new teams very often in the league. But when I was young, the Carolina Panthers were absolutely horrific. When they first built that stadium and became a franchise in 1995, they were not great. They were not great at all. It took 9 years to make a Super Bowl, but we did it. Eventually, we got there, and then there was a fall off, and then we were able to do a rebuild and transition, just like teams in the Premier League do. And we slowly got better and better and better. And we made another Super Bowl 11 years later. So these cycles still happen. The Cleveland Browns were horrific when I was a kid. Horrendous. So much so that they were the butt of many jokes. But they have gotten better, and then they were shit again, but then they got better. Cincinnati Bengals were never like this great team, but they, in my lifetime, have improved and become, and gotten to a really good level. So the teams still go up and down, every one of them, no matter who you are, no matter what it was. And the salary cap does that. That's kind of the point of it. But I understand it's a huge barrier to entry because it's a massive, massive financial jump from the Charleston Battery, which is a local team in Charleston where I grew up, which would be like the National League as far as quality, I would say. The National League in England is probably where the quality is, but the money jump from the Charleston Battery to the Chicago Fire is insane. It's
yeah, and JT's point is huge. This is what I'm talking about. All I need to have is good games. If I don't have relegation, but I have a salary cap, and that's the way I put the parity in there, as opposed to your relegation, that's what I'm going to do. I just got to do the American version of it. I'm not saying it's right. I 100% agree with it. But there's people who have access to data that we don't have that said, hey, let's move to this schedule, which costs a bunch of money. And so they have to have a next knock-on plan. There's no way they're doing this without the next level.
I don't know if artificial is the word, Ollie, but it's definitely the way it moves is definitely because of the draft and the salary cap, 100%.
I think it would take out half the magic of, like, say, the league. Someone, for example, or the cups, etc.
I think we want our own magic. I think that's what they want. I think we want an American version of football.
Yeah, because
I don't want
the college system is way different. The college system is way different too.
I agree with you. Want your own, that's fine. It's just when you see about changing how it is for us, and I think like half the stuff like the FA Cup, for example, you don't get that around even like around a couple of Europe.
We have our own version of that. Where the teams like the Charleston Battery can actually play against the Chicago Fire. That can happen in the Hunt Trophy, the U.S. Open Cup. That's the same thing as like the League Cup or the FA Cup.
Do they actually beat them, Jake?
Not often.
Yeah, exactly.
Not as often as say like Portsmouth could beat Chelsea or whatever.
Yeah,
not as often as that.
That's the whole magic of like the FA Cup. That's the whole thing about you're playing that team, and then you can have a cup run. Someone can pick you up. You could next thing like Jamie Vardy, for example.
This is where the schedule change matters.
He was playing like a couple of years before he signed to Leicester. He was playing non-league. He was like slowly, and look at him now. He became an England international. That kind of thing.
This is a good point too. I think this is a very good point too as well. About it being your home club, like your home team. Like if I saw the Charleston Battery ascend to the MLS, that'd be so cool, man.
Exactly.
I have an answer to that. I have an answer to that though. I agree with Charles. Like it's controlled. I think JT said it's controlled. You can see more young talent integration. But my answer to that is, would you not want to see your hometown compete? And again, while Jake, I agree with you, I'm going to say just like there's a Big Six in England, Dallas Cowboys, New York Yankees. They're always going to follow the big team, so the home team don't matter. And because of the way the MLS is set up and the way things are, it's very likely that most of the population is not going to be near a big team. But here's what you know for sure. I bet if I go outside right now here and DC has a team, I bet you I'll find me a pink Miami jersey. I bet if I go to New York, I'll find it. All you got to do is get a big star on a big team in a big city, and that's what they're going to follow. Because that's what they do. Like Americans, as much as we want to love hometown stuff, we don't do that unless it's like the traditional blue blood teams, like the Cubs or the Yankees, or like that had to be like they won, and those teams had to have won something. Like you're basing that off the legacy. Like people are Cowboys fan, and I'm about to throw a shot at the Cowboys right now, but the Cowboys haven't won since I don't know. I was the tiniest of children. You know what I'm saying? And so you look at that and you say, well, why are people Cowboys fans? Cowboys fans are the most rabid ones ever. And they're rabid because of what they are. 49er fans. 49er fans are rabid. They didn't get good until recently. The Cubs sucked. I know Browns fans. I know people from Ohio.
The Red Sox went 100 years without a pen.
No, it's when you talk about it, I think most local English people would like to see their team. Like I grew up in Lancashire, but when I like to see Leeds doing well, and when they're in the Premier League,
I feel that way too.
Do we think that's a cultural difference? Like I only cheered for the Panthers because I guess because I got to be there and I got to go there, and technically I'm from Charlotte, so and that's where the Panthers are. So yeah, that is kind of my hometown town, I guess, hometown team, I should say. But the Panthers are never gonna be the Giants. They're never gonna be as big as the Cowboys. Love them or hate them, they're never gonna be as big as the Redskins, Commanders. Because those are like legacy teams. The Panthers are a new team, relatively speaking, to the league. And so even if we would have won in 2004, even if we would have won in 2004 and in 2015, we still it wouldn't be like Manchester United. We wouldn't have that pull, like the Yankees do. You know what I'm saying?
No, I've got a question for you. Okay, that's fine. But if your team was winning and you had a chance, say for instance, to go up to the MLS, and wouldn't you go to, and you got promoted to, would you go to your local team more just to watch, even if it's just to watch, what do you call it, Inter Miami come and play? Wouldn't you go to your local team just to watch?
Yeah, I would. If I understand what you're saying. If the Battery were in the MLS. In that, that stadium is tiny. They would have to build a new stadium.
And I'm a piggyback that. Finish that. I have a piggyback.
But yeah, I understand 100%. But see, I'm different because I understand the English culture around this. I have been immersed in it from watching the Premier League for so long, but I also understand the American side of it too.
So to piggyback that, I love your question, Asif, and it's really good because it's going to show why the answer is an American answer. So, say for example, the Charleston Battery, which I'm aware of too, plays Inter Miami, right? So they say they play Inter Miami. Now, obviously, they couldn't play them there. So the first thing they would do is they would play them in a big stadium, right? So they probably play them in the downtown stadium, the college football stadium. So that's the first thing that's going to happen. And if that's what happens, if the Battery's owners see that, they're going to say, hey, you know what? All we got to do is kind of just show up, right? If we show up and they're decent, all we have to know is if we got a big team in the league, in our national top level program, and we have this competition that might get them to come here, all we got to do is make sure we're good enough to get in that competition and bring that team here. Because if you bring that team here, all our American teams, all they want is the revenue. So then from that standpoint, I agree with relegation, but if I'm not in the relegation because the hierarchy is through USA Soccer, USA Soccer controls all of this. And because USA Soccer controls all of this, the next thing is that if I'm USA Soccer, then all I need to do realistically is have one juggernaut team in every region. If I have one juggernaut team in every region, I don't need the relegation because all I got to do is let the big team come to where the small team is, and I'm getting my ticket sales. And then I can scout off of those teams. And now if I pull somebody from the Battery to play in Inter Miami, now Inter Miami had so-and-so. Can they find another star? And that meets the American way. But
the thing I would say about this, JT, is that in England, it's like a hometown allegiance. It's very, very passionate. It's very, very passionate, right? But see, the difference in America is the fans, let's take the NFL, for example, are still that passionate about their team. Even if I'm a San Francisco 49ers fan, I'm die hard. Like, you know what? Let's take the Pittsburgh Steelers, because Nez, you know what I'm talking about. Steelers fans are die hard. No matter where they go. There is a Steelers bar in Mount Pleasant, right next to Charleston, South Carolina. It's called Steel City Pizza. Of course it is, right? And on game day, to this day, it is slam packed with Steelers fans who live in Charleston, even if they're terrible. But the bar is nuts because the passion is still there, even though it's not necessarily geographic.
And that's the other element. And I'm going to go real quick. So the other thing is in the United States, another thing that exists is the United States is giant. So hometown thing has less measure, but the country is transient. People move all the time here. And so we are moving all over the place. And realistically, the culture doesn't change a bunch when you move somewhere else. Whereas like, and see if you know this, like when I was there visiting you, when we were in Manchester and we went to Leeds, it was the same, but a little different. But if we had gone to London, it'd have been starkly different. The United States, you're getting the same thing everywhere, realistically. And so there's no reason to be hometown connected because home is everywhere.
Right.
The team is your home.
JT,
this right here is a good point, Ali. This is a good point as well, but this is not. This doesn't really happen in America.
What's that?
Where it's it's like leveling the playing field.
No, but that's the example I gave about the Battery. But go ahead.
Because the playing field is already level.
I was just looking.
The playing field is already level. Go ahead.
JT's point. JT, US is not much bigger than all of Europe. If you took out continental Europe, that means if you include Russia, it's not. It's actually Europe is slightly better, bigger than if you include continental, the part of Russia that's in Europe. It's actually bigger. So there you go.
Well, but then you think about it.
But then you're split into whole different.
Because now you're talking about Champions League travel, and how many people complain about going to Ukraine?
No, I'm just the point that he said the US is much bigger than all of Europe.
Not giant like that. No.
To Nez's point, it's fractured culturally. It's in America. It's not. It's it's
We're basically
relatively
the
similar.
same everywhere.
Yeah.
But to his point, and I think that's a great thing you just mentioned, Asif, that equating the league seasons of the countries is different than equating what we would do for a league, because our league would be the equivalent of you playing Champions League every week.
Yeah.
For the whole year because of the travel. And there's no way to have hometown stuff like that there. That's where you just have to be like, hey, this is what it is, because it's not transient like that. Somebody could move from England to Barcelona, but there's a reason to be connected to your English team. There's no reason to be connected to if I move from New York to Charlotte, there's no reason.
Right. And for those fans who do feel this way and who are very connected to their local team, because the Charleston Battery have ultras, they have people that bang a drum.
Their stadium. Yeah.
And you know what I mean? And so they have people that travel with the team. The leagues are there. And the leagues are competitive. Like I'll we can end on this. We're kind of droning on here, but I'll say this. When I was playing, I was playing in what you would call Sunday League, Asif, but I called it the Beer League because we all went for beers after the game, no matter what team you were on. We to hang out or whatever, and so it was kickabout stuff.
I love Sunday leagues, Jake. I've seen some of the biggest guys, overweight guys, pull off.
Oh yeah, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. And I was halfway decent, right? At least I fancied myself. And the Charleston Battery are in a league where they offer. You can go try out and be seen. You pay them $200 and they'll see you just to get on the field there, right? And even that, who, like I said, is probably equivalent to National League in England as far as the quality, even that, from what I was doing, the gap was absolutely monstrous. And so the gap from the Charleston Battery to the Chicago Fire is also that big, And so, yes, we follow our local teams and those leagues are there, but the quality jump is quite a lot when we go to these bigger teams that are more regional and have, like, for example, if you talk about regional teams, my stepdad was a fan of the Atlanta Braves, even though he lived in North Carolina his whole life. And it's because Atlanta was the closest team. And they were a huge team that were really close, If we had one big European league, the relevance of a random local city club that isn't big would be much smaller than the league for every country. Yeah, I agree. And I think that if it was Champions League every weekend, it would skew towards the bigger clubs and would be more like the NFL or the MLB.
And so to JT's last point, this is the Europeans fought against the Super League, and that's essentially what the MLS is. It's the Super League. So there's no way we could ever match that culture because we're too big. Like we are like, that's why the MLS works the way it is, because it's essentially the United States version of Super League.
You could,
basically.
You could potentially, if you did it state by state, and then have like how you.
And we could do that. That might be cool, where you have like a state cup, but then you would have to have like that following, right?
And then you'd have like a Champions League on top of it.
And you could do that. I think that might work. That's a good idea. I think these conversations create that, because for the United States, we're not going to run into that. Like, I mean, just being out, and for example, Texas alone, they can have 3 leagues by themselves. It's so much talent in that state. It's not even funny. Texas is giant.
They have two NFL teams that are historic, like the Texans, the Houston Texans are a historic team because they moved from Tennessee. They used to be the Oilers and they moved down. It's still a massive franchise, even though Dallas is bigger, just because Dallas is probably the biggest, most historic legacy history FC of the NFL, but
Liverpool. They're literally Liverpool.
Yep. 100%.
And I say Liverpool because it's not disrespectful like that. The Cowboys have history worthy of like paying attention to, like Liverpool. I'm not knocking Liverpool. They have history. Like, they had some great guys there. Yeah, I wouldn't even say United. I'm not knocking United either. United too.
Yeah. Miss out on having Champions League type cross country and some random basketball team from around town beat the Knicks. Actually, they do have one in soccer in the MLS. They play against the USL teams and the other leagues, but that's the only sport. Like you're not going to get to watch Notre Dame play against the Atlanta Falcons. Like that's not a thing.
But again, there's money here because the Man City is opening their new Etihad campus for the NYFC team in Queens, next to the Mets Stadium, which is the other New York baseball team, and they're selling season ticket cards at like super cheap prices. The stadium is state of the art, and they're doing that because they have a fan base, and because that fan base is moving from the Bronx to Queens, which if you don't know what that is, it's a distinct difference as far as like the travel for being New York City, but they have faithful, they have ultras. And if you can get those ultras to move, and you move that season where it starts in August, easy. They're easily coming. They're coming.
Absolutely are. Well, this turned into an absolutely fascinating conversation that I did not expect the direction this to go, but I absolutely.
We're talking about the league. The league.
I absolutely enjoyed that. That was amazing. That was absolutely amazing. Yeah, and obviously we touched in on the transfers. We touched in on some of the new stuff. We will be back next week, of course. We are getting back into our regular rhythm as we get closer to the Premier League season. I'm absolutely pumped for it to come along. Of course, lots more stuff to get done for each of our teams in the transfer window, of course, and many more. So in a week's time, I'm sure there's going to be plenty more to speak on. So it's been a great show. Pick up the chat every single time. Thanks for being here. Thanks for all the comments. Make sure we're liking. Make sure we are subscribing to the channel if you're new. Alert notification bell, I should say. Thanks so much, Ollie.
Tell your friends, share it with them. Share it on your Instagram and your Facebook. I don't be on there, but share it on there. Share it on your Twitter, right?
The TikToks, all the socials. Absolutely. Of course, every single time. Yeah, again, thanks everyone for being here, and you. We'll see us next time.